I installed iPadOS 26 on my iPad mini to see exactly what the experience is like. There are some things I love and some things I completely hate about this update. Let's go ahead and talk about everything right now. So I'm going to get started with some of the things I like in iPadOS 26, and then make sure you stick around till the end of the video because that's where I'm going to touch on some of the updates that I really do not like in iPadOS 26. So getting started with the first thing, it's the redesign. So iPadOS 26 gets the liquid glass update, the same redesign as we saw in iOS 26. So you're going to notice this throughout the entire system, whether it's the redesigned icons, the shimmer around the icons, and the widgets. You'll see it inside of Control Center. You can see they look like floating panes of glass, and they also have that shimmer on the edge. You'll see it if I open up music, for example. So if you stare at this page at the bottom, as I scroll, you can see it reflects the light in a pretty unique way. You can also see it in Spotlight Search, and you can also see the keyboard has been redesigned as well. So throughout the entire system in iPadOS 26, you're going to notice the redesign of liquid glass. I definitely think it's a nice upgrade over what we had before, and I think this should definitely be Apple's design language for the next decade because it looks really, really nice. Another feature I really love in iPadOS 26 is the ability to have any folder from your Files application in your dock. So here you can see I have my Downloads folder in my dock, and this functions just like the Mac version would. This is a theme that you're going to notice throughout the entire video. Apple is porting over a bunch of features from macOS and bringing it to the iPad. Of course, they're adding their own spin onto it to kind of make it more like the iPad version and fit it for a touch display. However, the overarching theme is still there where a lot of these features you can tell have been ported over from macOS. So if you want to do this, open up the Files application and then pretty much choose literally any folder that you want in your dock. So let's just go ahead and choose this Documents one. You can see if I scroll down, we have a button that says Add To. And if you want to add it to your dock, all you have to do is click on this button right here. Then if I flick up, you can see this folder is now in my dock. And if I click on it, it'll reveal what's in that folder, just like on the Mac. And Apple has also added a completely new application to iPadOS 26. And this is another update which I really like. So the Preview app is now available on the iPad. And when I say it, it doesn't really sound like it's anything big. However, I think a lot of people are really going to appreciate the Preview application. And that's because the iPad didn't really have a dedicated PDF viewer before. And this is big, especially if you're a student, for example. If you're going to school, you know a lot of those PDF editor applications on the App Store, they're very expensive, and some of them require like a $15 or $20 per month subscription. But now with the Preview app on the iPad, you now have a dedicated PDF viewer and editor on the iPad. If I go ahead and make this full screen, this is kind of teasing what I'll talk about later in the video. You can see this is the new Preview application. We have the option to create a new blank document. We can scan documents using the camera on your iPad, and you can also browse any PDFs that are on your iPad or iCloud Drive. So if you choose to open a PDF inside a Preview, here is what it looks like. It's a pretty nice PDF editor. You also have autofill, so if you get something sent to you and you need to fill it in, you can use the Preview application. Here are all of your tools at the top. So here is markup. If you want to take an Apple Pencil, for example, and mark anything up, you can do that. Here is your autofill option, so it's going to detect any fields that need to be filled in, and you can sign and mark up different documents. This button is going to let you trim the PDF if you want to cut anything off the bottom or top. And then here is a rotate button, which is going to allow you to rotate it. So these are all pretty basic functions, but it is pretty nice that we now have a built-in PDF editor right on the iPad, and you don't have to rely on a third-party application anymore. And there are some new features inside of Files that I like as well. And these are, again, some options that have been brought over from macOS. The first thing is you now have the option to choose which application is going to open for a certain file type. So say, for example, you want to open a certain image with a different app instead of Photos, such as Photoshop, you would now be able to do that in iPadOS 26. So for example, if I press and hold on this file here, you can see we now have an option that says Open With. Now it doesn't give me any options because there are no apps I can open this with other than the default audio player. But if this were an image file, for example, it would give me the option to open a different image editing app other than Photos. And another thing with Files, which I really like, is you now have the option to customize your file folders with tags and emojis. So here you can see I have a test folder. If I press and hold on it, you can see we have the option to customize folder and change our tags. So if I click on this, I can change the emoji to this one, for example. Then I can make it a, let's say, a purple one. And just like that, you can see this folder now stands out a lot more. And I think it's going to make it a lot easier for you to find your files now with this color coding and also emojis. Now, I haven't really been using the Files app very much on my iPad for the last 3 years. So some of these things I'll show you, I'm not 100% sure if they're new in iPadOS 26. But here in the Files app, it looks like we have so many options now for organizing our files and viewing them in different ways. So if you click on this icon here at the top, you can see we have our view options. We can view it as icons. We can also change it to a list like this, where it shows the name, the date modified, and the kind of file that it is. I think this is really nice. We can also change it to a column. So as soon as you open a folder, you can see it's going to show you the path of where you're going in that file. And then we also have different view options as well. This is something I love from the Mac. So if we click on this, you can see we can have show file name and extensions. So if we turn this on, you can see here's this audio file that's an M4A file. It wasn't showing that before. You can see when it's off, it goes away. But if I turn this on, it's going to show the exact type of file that it is. And this is a really nice update. iPadOS 26 also now supports ongoing background activities, which is something that you just couldn't do before at all in iPadOS 18. So what does this mean? Well, first of all, you can see there's an icon here on the top right of my iPad indicating that something is happening in the background. And if I swipe down, you can see I'm actually downloading something from Safari. This is nice because you can always keep tabs on what's going on in the background of your iPad. Before, this wasn't even an option and it would just keep downloading in the background in Safari. But Apple has also went one step further and they've enabled you to keep doing certain tasks when you're multitasking. So say for example, you're in Final Cut Pro and you're exporting a video that you just finished editing. If you want to close out of Final Cut Pro, you can now keep doing other stuff on your iPad when your video is still exporting. And I know it sounds like something very basic, and of course we could do this on the Mac before, but now finally in iPadOS 26, we can do other stuff on our iPad when we have background activities going on. So Final Cut Pro, for example, if you're exporting a video, you can keep doing other stuff on your iPad. Here is a screenshot from the Apple website. You can see you can be exporting a video, you can be downloading something from Safari, you can be moving files inside of the Files app, and you can do other stuff on your iPad as these things keep working in the background. Apple has also brought the phone app to the iPad with this update. And I think this is a pretty nice feature to have because you can make phone calls on your iPad if your iPhone is nearby. So you could pretty much do this with the FaceTime app before. However, it would be a FaceTime audio call. But now if you want to make a phone call using your iPhone's SIM card and its connection to a cell tower, you can now do that with the phone app on the iPad. There was actually a way to do this before in iPadOS 18. You would have to use Siri. You could just tell Siri to call someone and it would use your iPhone nearby. If you wanted to use an application before this, you'd have to use FaceTime and use FaceTime audio. So it was kind of convoluted. But now in iPadOS 26, there is a dedicated phone app, so you can make any phone call you want right from your iPad. All right, and now this is the moment you've been waiting for. In iPadOS 26, we have an all-new windowing method. And some people might love it, some people might hate it. Me, I really don't think I like it because for me, Apple took away one of the biggest features I used every single day, and it was huge for my workflow, and now it's completely gone. So when you first set up iPadOS 26 on the welcome screen, Apple is going to give you a choice. If you want to use full screen apps, or if you want to have the option to have windows. You can always change it in settings, obviously. So here, if you go into settings, then scroll down and choose multitasking and gestures, this is pretty much what Apple is going to ask which one you want to use when you set up the iPad. So we have full screen apps and windowed apps. Whatever you do, don't choose Stage Manager because it is just awful. But the new option is windowed apps. So here, if I go ahead and open up Safari, you can see by default, it's going to open up in full screen. But at the very bottom right of the display, you can see we have a little dragger. And if we drag it like this, you can see we now have a windowed application. If we drag it out a little bit bigger, it is going to make the dock disappear, which I do like. Now, this is why I'm making this video on my iPad mini, because for whatever reason, this is available on the iPad mini. And I just have no idea why, because in my opinion, it is completely useless. With how small the iPad mini's display is, I don't think you're going to be able to be productive at all with this windowing method. You might be able to have two windows open, but I'd say that's pretty much it. So let's make Safari just a little bit smaller. And this is the issue because it's kind of hard to resize these apps once you position them. So here's Safari. Now let's go ahead and let's open up Twitter, for example. So I'll drag it out just like this. Then I'll make Twitter a little bit smaller. You can see it's very glitchy as I'm resizing. This is still in beta, but we're pretty far down the beta line and it's still acting like this, so not a good sign. But here I have two applications open, and here I'd say I'm pretty much maxed out. If I'd add any other application, I'd have to add it in front of Safari, but then I can't see Safari at all. So it's nice that Apple is giving us the option to have the windowing options like we have on every other iPad. Like, Apple isn't limiting this at all. So if you install iPadOS 26 on the biggest 13-inch iPad Pro, you have the exact same functionality as you can see here on the iPad mini. Of course, it's going to make a lot more sense on the bigger iPad, and I think that's kind of the iPad they designed this feature around, like the bigger 11-inch and 13-inch iPads, iPad Airs and iPad Pros. For whatever reason, this is available on the iPad mini, and like I said, it's honestly completely useless because the windows are so small and the display is so tiny on this iPad. Like, look at the size of my hand next to this iPad. Like, it's completely useless. I'd honestly rather just use my iPhone. But if for whatever unknown reason you want to use windowing, it is available on the iPad mini. But now this is where I want to talk about that feature that Apple completely removed from iPadOS, which I just hate it that they removed this. Apple has completely removed slide over from the iPad. Now you can tell me in the comments if you use this or if you thought it was popular, but for me, I was using it literally every single day, multiple times per day. So whatever my workflow was, I would be in a full screen application like this, and previously on iPadOS 18 and earlier, we had a slide over. So we could flick up our dock like this, we could choose any application, and we could drag it on the right side of our screen. And then we would have a small version of that app windowed on the right side. And this window would have its own app switcher. And you could swipe up from the bottom, just like on your iPhone, and you'd have a little carousel of apps that you could choose from. You could be in that application. And then when you're done with slide over, you could flick it off to the side and you're done. For me, I use this all the time. When I'm working, I'd be in Safari and I'd have my notes in a slide over window on the right hand side. This is now completely gone from iPadOS 26, and I have absolutely no idea why. So if I wanted to add a window on top of Safari, let's say Twitter, if I grab it, you can see it no longer goes into the small slide over view. Instead, it opens in its own little window, and I can't flick it off to the side. It just stays here. And this is just so annoying, and I honestly think this is a complete downgrade. And in all honesty, I don't know if I'll be able to use my iPad in the same level of productivity as I was before, just because of how much I use slide over. I'd have my little window of notes right here. I'd be able to flick it off to the side, then I could slide it back in and I could change apps, and the functionality is just completely gone. You can let me know in the comments if I'm crazy, if no one used slide over but me. But for me, I'm really sad that Apple removed this feature, and I'm going to miss it forever. The next feature in iPadOS 26, which I sort of like, sort of don't like, is Apple has brought the 3-dot menu from the Mac now to the iPad. You can see it's very small, but if you click on it, it gets a little bit bigger. And I'll explain what each of these buttons do. So if you click on the X, it's going to completely close out the application, and it won't even be accessible in multitasking. It has been completely closed, almost as if you killed the app, just like this. So that's what the red X does. If you use the yellow button, it's going to minimize it, and it's going to still keep it open in multitasking. As you can see, we can still access it just like this. Then if we press on the green button, it's going to take us into full screen. However, if we press and hold on the green button, it's going to give us different scaling options. And as I talked about before, it's kind of useless on this iPad mini. But if you have a bigger iPad, this could be pretty useful. So here we have a button to move it to the left side. We can move to the right side if we want to. Something I found funny is you can see we have this option here to go into quarters. You can see the screen is kind of broken into 4 different parts. But if you click it, it takes up a lot more than a quarter of the screen. And that's because the iPad mini's display is just so hilariously small for a feature like this. And if I open up another application and I put this into quarters, you can see you're not going to be able to fit 4 applications, even though the feature kind of told you that you would. So it's almost hilarious how bad it is on the iPad mini. I almost wish Apple completely got rid of this feature on an iPad so small. And then the final thing in iPadOS 26 I want to talk about in this video is Apple has brought the menu bar from the Mac. So again, another feature from macOS that has now been brought over to the iPad. If you're in any application, you can flick down and we now have a menu bar. This is a feature I actually like. So we have the name of the application. We can see a bunch of stuff like settings for this application, privacy report, and more. We have file, edit, view, history, bookmarks, window, and help. Pretty much all the options you'd have if you're on the version of the application for the Mac. It's pretty useful in something like Safari, but if we go into an application like YouTube, for example, we have the exact same options, but they don't really do anything. So file, there's not really anything we can do other than close YouTube. Edit, pretty much everything is grayed out, and autofill doesn't really work for YouTube. We have format, even though we aren't editing text. And then view is grayed out. So a lot of apps that you use on iPad, the menu bar is gonna be here, but it's gonna be completely useless, and it's just gonna be for show to make your iPad look, I guess, more professional, if you will. So some apps it'll be useful, maybe Safari and Files, but most apps you use on the iPad, it's just gonna be completely useless. So that is iPadOS 26. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I've been considering making a video with the large 13-inch iPad Pro because in my opinion, with iPadOS 26 on that iPad, I think it's gonna be a completely different experience. And I think I'm gonna love the windowing and I'm gonna love all the other features just because of how big the screen is. I think with Apple making the version of iPadOS the exact same no matter what the display size is, I do think that was a bit of a mistake, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. And also let me know if you want me to make a video showing iPadOS 26 on the larger iPad Pro. With all that said, I appreciate you guys watching all the way till the end. Make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to IDB if you haven't already. My name is Michael, and I'll see you in the next video.